We should be live. Hello,
Oh,
VOD people.
hello, hello.
We should be live. Yep, we're live.
Nice, nice. Glad to hear it.
Yes, I'm gonna put the Kickstarter in the backer kit campaign in the chat. Now it's
Yep,
time to
good,
send
good idea.
notifications.
Yeah.
Probably do not everyone for that one. So we'll probably give it like 5 minutes until we really get started. 5 or 10 minutes. Wait for people to get in chat.
Yeah, and then we'll get going. Oh, supposedly we have 3 people watching,
Oh, well, one of them's me.
and one of them is me. So
So there's a third person here.
someone's infiltrated us. Could be anyone. Could be any one of us.
Oh, I'm excited for this. I think I've been kind of following the Cave of Vampire Tears for a while now. I actually tested, I ran it, the start of it a few months back uh, for like some playtesting stuff, and it was really cool.
Nice. I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I just read through before we started. I didn't read through all of it, but I read through more or less the first 9 pages. Get a quick
Yeah,
idea.
for context, the version we have is 28 pages.
Yes. Yep. Which includes roughly 3 pages of table of contents and title and such.
Yeah, Paul was kind enough to give us a sort of updated version from the one that's on his itch.io page.
Yes, yes, yeah. Paul was very kind. We reached out to him about doing this. We said, hey, we want to we wanted to stream a review because we'd done that before for the first Ratcatcher scene, and I was like, hey, we want to do this. You know, we know you've got that a Kickstarter or a backer kit or whatever, whichever one it is, coming up for Cave of Amber Tears. So we were thinking about doing Cave of Amber Tears, but we know it's not finished. So if you want us to do like what was it, Tomb of the Crescent Moon, I think is this finished one.
Yeah, which
So
I
we were
wouldn't mind
like,
doing
yeah,
it some other time, but yeah.
yeah, we very well may still do at some point, but I was like, well, you know, if you want us to do that one instead, we understand. We're happy to do that one, but we thought it would be good. One, we were both very interested in Cave of Amber Tears, and two, we thought it would be good, you know, publicity for the backer kit thing.
I'm actually not sure what exactly is changed. I'm really curious to see what sort of is different.
Yeah, I'm interested too.
Every time we've worked with Paul, it's been amazing. We had Paul on the
Mhm.
podcast um, a few at this point. I forget when we recorded, but it was a while ago, and it was really a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah, it was a while ago, but it was yeah, it was really good. It should be that episode is up, right?
It is, yep.
Yeah,
And the next one hopefully
yeah,
should be
be
up soon as
soon,
well.
hopefully.
We'll see from
Yeah,
what I've been
the one we
hearing from
did
our
with
editor.
Tamlin.
Yeah, and it's revealed here. Tamlin is our next guest.
And then we should hopefully be, and we're recording our next Draw Steel one soon as well.
Yeah, within the next
After
probably a
that.
few weeks. Yeah.
hmm Well, it's been about 5 minutes. Do we want to
Yeah, we can get
go ahead
started.
and get going?
Yeah, let me.
Has it been? Yeah.
There we go. And let me open up the preview copy. Let me get to the top. The Cave of Amber Tears by Paul Gorski. Actually, I should
Yeah.
probably share my screen.
Yeah. Just. Yep. I was gonna say. Let's make sure. Oh, there we go.
Probably do it a tad bigger.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So starting. Also, as to give a disclaimer, this is not. This is a work in progress copy. Um, Make that very clear. Even though we got a bit more of an updated one, it still um has a lot of sort of development to be done. So don't think anything in here is final.
Yes. Yeah. All of this is subject to change. I imagine there will be some things that change at least a little bit, though I can't tell for sure. I know Paul mentioned specifically the burial mound combat still needs a decent amount of work, and maybe might see some custom stat blocks in there. And just that, so far there only portions of this have had extensive testing so far. So some portions of this might change a lot as testing goes forward, and they find out, Paul finds out, okay, this doesn't work, this does, what have you.
Yeah. I also believe that there's like a whole section towards the end that isn't in here yet, which just means we'll have to wait and see on the for the main release, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah,
Um
me too.
yeah. So, Will, do you want to read out the little sort of a blurb here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess, yeah, we can read the blip first. Within the burial mound of a village, on the edge of the frigid northern frontier, a decades-long spell of undead transformation reaches its conclusion on the day of sun return. Nightmares of the honored dead, risen and bloodthirsty, torment the villagers. Meanwhile, the village chief fitfully recovers from a grievous wound. The heroes, summoned for a feast to commemorate the solar holiday, are secretly tasked to uncover the source of the nightmares and put an end to the horrors that stir within the burial mound. But secrets await the party as a deeper plot and plan wait to be uncovered.
I will also point out, which I will say this is really good adventure. I love sort of the hook of like, oh, you're joining this festival, and it kind of starts from there. Um, and again, I put the link in the chat, so follow his the campaign, which should be I think open tomorrow or the 4th, right? So maybe not tomorrow, but
Uh, no, yeah, day
Tuesday.
after tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So make sure to follow that, and I've already backed it, so make sure to
Yeah.
back it.
And yeah, so this is a adventure designed for 5 first level heroes.
hmm
Um, though currently the number of victories and number of sessions for the that it's designed to be is up in the air.
That makes total sense to me.
Though I imagine once we've gone through it, I bet we could take a stab at guessing how many victories you're supposed to get from it just based on like the number of encounters.
Yeah, again, I don't. Yeah, but I don't think there's like a whole section is not in here, so I think that's also a reason why. Because it may still be designing like
Fair.
the one of the locations. Um,
Fair.
Also, I just want to
Yeah.
point out, if folks were paying attention to the jams of the timescape, I think the top winner of that was also like it was like a three specific Norse based items, which I think really went well with
Oh,
this adventure.
yeah. What Memories of the North Wind by
Yes.
Jonas Hinterseher?
Yeah. No.
Uh,
I check. I
I,
recommend checking those out.
I Yeah, no, they are really cool. I apologize profusely to Jonas, whose name I have just butchered.
Yeah. No. I was reading. I remember seeing those things during the game jam, and I was really sort of amazed by it. Like I thought they were really cool designed. But back to the main adventure. Something I
Yeah,
love is I believe there is a an excerpt here.
yeah, a little from a poem
Yes, the
from
Havamal.
Havamal, which I think is a Norse poem told. It's supposed to be like the writings of or told from the perspective of Odin or something along those lines.
Yeah, I really hope he keeps these links or something akin to him in the actual book. I think it's just really cool, like
That'd be
have these
really
sort of
cool. Mhm.
um links like for reference.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
reference, we'll get to more because he's got one for Havamal here, but he's got a bunch of links for concepts that come up
yeah,
for people who may be less familiar with them.
which is really cool. Yep, simple, just table of contents here. Again, really
Yeah, the
well
first.
laid out.
Yep. Yeah, the table of contents is nice. It's very practical.
Yeah, he has an
Um,
NPC list. This did not exist when I first ran the venture, and at least if it existed in not such a in the same format, and it's really improved. So
oh,
I
the
love seeing
like
this.
the people list here under the
Yes.
village of Ark. How do we say that?
Um,
Arkvirker?
Archivir, Archvikir. I have a feeling we're gonna have this come up a lot.
Yeah.
Um, we are not linguists, or
No.
at least I'm not any way connected culturally to that sort of part of the
No.
world. So
No. My pronunciation of Norse and Norse inspired words certainly leaves something to be desired. Yeah, so I think the first kind of section sets up what's happened so far
yeah, I love this layout.
and
I
things.
so many adventures takes me like a while like to figure out what's happening. Right? I love that it just goes
Mhm.
straight into it with a sort of a short timeline.
Yeah, so it goes over the 2 weeks ago. Um, this the aforementioned in the blurb. What do you call it in the blurb? Yeah, the decades long spell of undead transformation that cooked over 2 weeks ago, caused by Hraelsvigr. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hrollsvkivr?
Hraelsvigr. Uh, the seer, causing the honored dead of the burial mound to rise up and start eating away. Apparently, at the magical world wards, he says consuming the magical wards, and I imagine it's not literally like Draugr chewing on them, but also in my head, that's what I see. I just see like Draugr like chewing on these glowing runes that are floating in the air.
They're just using their ceremonial silverware they were buried with, and just
Right,
nomin.
yeah. Every person in Arc Archivir is buried with silverware and a plate so that they can eat any magical wards when they
I
come
think
back
that's
to life.
canon now, and no matter what Paul says, that's canon now. So
Yeah.
don't listen to him.
Uh, um
Yeah,
yeah,
but Dark
and
Dreams, always a good hook.
yeah, dreams are fun. It reminds me a bit of have you played through the Rime of the Frost Maiden for 5th
Yes,
edition?
I played through it. Yeah, at least somewhat.
One of the optional quests that can come up in kind of there's like a phase where you're kind of doing like an open world exploration and there are a bunch of optional quests that you can get from the DM, and one of them is that people in one of the 10 towns have been having like weird dreams.
Hmm.
and it leads to a fun adventure. So it reminds me of that, and that's a good thing. I thought that was one of the more fun side quests because it's like, oh, these dreams are happening. There's something weird going on, and it's really cool.
This adventure would just plainly just be perfect to just like sort of plop down in 10 towns, honestly, as part
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
Rime of the
you
Frostbane.
could put this in Icewind Dale. In fact, there's a whole section in a little bit that we can talk about of like, hey, where would you put this place?
Hmm.
Where is that section actually?
I also do
Oh,
want to
fitting in
say,
campaign. Oh, no, that's actually before the dreams. Oops.
I do want
Yeah,
to
there it
say,
is.
so when I ran this game with the Dark Dream, so I did the Dream with the players, and one of my players had a complication that only gave them sort of premonitions.
Oh, that's
So at
fun.
first I thought it was just one of their premonitions until I was like, everyone gets this dream. so he, so
Yeah,
that character thought it was like almost like something with their stuff kind of bleeding over to the other characters. So it was kind of like a
that's
some funny
that's
narrative.
a fun twist though. Like
Yeah,
you're not the only one this time, kind of thing.
yeah, it was really cool in the moment. If that wasn't a one shot, I imagine it'd be so much more impactful.
That's fair. Um,
Yeah, no, but they
yeah. So
helplessly bear witness while the honored dead arise from their interment within the village's ancient burial mound, and they slaughter
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, and it's a side effect. I really like that it's a side effect of the alchemical enchantment.
Hmm.
I think that's really fun to tie it to the thing the bad guy is doing.
I agree.
It's not just like a they're having dreams and it's because of the bad guy. It's like, oh no, this is actually connected. Like his ritual has this
Actually,
power is spilling out and causing these things to happen.
also, do want to say, isn't there a pronunciation guide with the character like introductions? Let me double check this.
Is there?
I thought
Maybe.
no, I thought maybe saw somewhere, but no. That's one thing I do recommend that is put in here, some form of because a lot of these names are very hard to
Yeah.
pronounce.
I think it wouldn't be remiss to have a pronunciation guide, especially for some
The
of
god of
the
pronunciation. Yeah,
uh especially when you've got some of these consonant clusters that we don't use in English. Like KV isn't really a sound we use much in English, and if I think about it, I can think about like, okay, that's how that should sound. But when I first see it, like KVIKR, it's just like a weird set of consonant clusters. That's hard for me to be like
yeah,
to wrap my brain around,
I agree.
which isn't a problem. I think having weird names is actually really cool, and people should do them. But
Yeah,
it can be helpful
it adds to the
to just let people
cultural
know.
sort of impact I think of the adventure. Like this adventure is definitely sort of
Yeah,
like showing this culture,
it
which is
helps
cool.
tie it all together. Yeah, so moving on through the timeline, a week ago, the chief Brimir goes into the burial mound looking to destroy the undead, but uh-oh, his son's in there. His son who was laid to rest in the Mound of Warrior, and he can't bring himself to strike his son and barely gets out with his life, which I think is super cool.
I love
To
this.
as a
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Go.
good answer to like because often you have these adventures and you have the question of like, okay, there's these NPCs around, why aren't they doing something about it? And here's an answer for why one of them isn't, right? He tried to do something about it, but he has too much of a personal connection to what's happening.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a really good way to like have this really cool NPC and just show like there's a reason why this wasn't dealt with previously. They attempted to, but just this person just can't right bring himself to. It's just really cool. Um, yeah, and then 3 days ago, Lady Yrsa, acting as interim leader of our Archivukir, while her husband Brimir recovers from a grievous injury, sets guards over the tomb. Which I think is cool. It adds like extra layer to like the whole adventure. Like you're not just trying to stop the things from getting out, but stopping the village from stopping you from helping. Right? It's good. She also outright just doesn't believe the dreams and just refuses the whole situation, which is also makes sense. I think that's
Yeah,
very
yeah, she's a bit in denial because she doesn't want to think about her son
yeah,
being a Draugr, which is fun and makes sense.
yeah. Again, another hyperlink. Awesome.
Yep. Um, and yeah, and Runa the Wise, who I assume is a priest of some sort. We'll find out, I guess, more when we get to the people. Has also convinced her to have acolytes monitor and report supernatural activity, and to ensure no undead escape from the mound per Runa's instructions, which makes sense. That's fun to have this kind of almost safety net um, for the players. I think we'll get to in a bit that obviously they can't just ignore it using this, but it could be interesting. I could see maybe if they're having trouble with a fight and they're retreating, they could maybe try to like rope some of these acolytes or guards into helping them, or maybe set up some sort of plan where they try like a controlled release of some of the undead, almost.
Yeah, it definitely does give some malleability to the situation, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Then we've got a
a
little
secret.
yeah, secret, which I think mostly
Yeah, it's basically what we read before, except it kind of clarifies that he's kind of shamed by this and is telling that like, oh, it was actually a polar bear that
right,
injured
yeah,
him.
that he got injured on a hunt, which is cool. I think obviously this is not finished.
Hmm.
They'll and probably one of the biggest sets of revisions you'll see is structural revisions as things get moved around. I probably would put this like little secret thing. Obviously, right now it's on the same page. I'd probably put it as like a little aside. I'd want something that draws my eye to it when you're reading about um, the 1 week ago bit. I'd probably have that as like a little aside instead of repeating it the whole thing
Yeah,
here. I'd probably just put the like, talking about him telling the others that it was like a polar bear hunt gone wrong.
yeah. Put it in that or have like a sub
In there.
form of that. So yeah, I think I agree with
Mhm.
that. Again though, I think this is I do love sort of broad timeline. Is the first thing you see. That's a good way to do it, I
It is
think.
really good. Yeah, and
Yeah, and
then it goes
also
into
the enemy
oh,
and his
go ahead.
goals. I know Matt Koval has put a lot of sort of like his thoughts on this, like of like, oh, have the bad guy be the first thing you see. Right? Like, who is this person? Like, who's the bad guy? I think is a good sort of first thing to know as well.
Yes, yeah. Um, yeah, especially from a running things standpoint, it's really good for me to open this up and see, okay, who's my antagonist? Hrolfsvgr the Seer. Done. Great. So I know if I'm kind of skimming through this before I really sit down to read it, and I want to know things about the adventure, and that's the first thing I see. I go, okay, I now know because in the table of contents we've got these people. We've got Hrolfsvgr the Seer. He's a human, and if I want to know more about him right away, I can just click on him. I can jump to him. That's one thing. You can click on all the table of contents things, which is really nice to
Oh,
like jump
awesome!
to them.
That's cool.
So I
That's a
can
lot.
like, I
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
And that's a good sort of like work to put in like even sort of like just sort of a preview document. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
it is really nice. So I can jump to that. So if I don't want to read like the next bits, and I'm like, okay, before I read about his goals, I want to get more of an idea of who this person is or was. Really get into the headspace. I can jump, knowing his name up front. I can just jump to him and I can start saying, okay, he's this person, yada yada, and then I can go back and keep reading. Uh, the enemy and his goal. Speaking of his goal, what's his goal, Jacob? What's he trying to do to us? Horrible evil man that he
yeah, I,
is.
I believe he wishes to yeah basically overpower the sort of Kevzir with this sort of horde of undead and basically oh no Kevzir the demigod. Oh yeah, because there's a demigod in prison within the bound. I forgot about this. Yeah, and so he wants to basically extract his vital essence and make him like a real prophet, like or like a true sort of like prophet with oracular vision, which is cool.
Yeah. And we've got a little section here for what happens if our heroes don't do what they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
which
I will also
is always nice to see. Mhm.
I also want to say something I like about this is you could theoretically read these first 4 pages or even these first page and run the adventure based off that, and you'd probably be pretty sort of like you could theoretically, right? It's a conflict, a bad guy, a sort of a events that lead up to the thing happening. So like if you're running something that's a little more like less system like encounter, sort of like something that didn't require a lot of prep, you could theoretically even like run adventures from this, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, yeah, totally, yeah. Um, which is cool. I know both of us are fans of of looking at parts of pieces of work and wondering, what extrapolates from there.
Hmm.
We had a whole I believe the only Star Wars movie you've ever watched was the original Star Wars,
Yep.
in which we sat down to watch it and wondered what is the world like if that's the only piece of Star Wars media you
Which,
interact with.
if you
Like
haven't done
what
that, it's a lot of fun.
it is. It actually is. It is really fun to sit down and go through and wonder at all the things they bring up that we, obviously since there's more Star Wars media, we know what those are. But if that's all you've got, you could there's so many interesting things, so many directions you can go with that, with the stuff. And I think that you can do something similar here where yeah, you could just read these first few pages that gives you the broad strokes of the adventure, and you could run an adventure that I think would be recognizably related to um Cave of Amber Tears, even if it's not beat for beat, word for word Cave of Amber Tears.
And the fact that you like achieve that in like a little bit more on the page, I think is really cool. And like I think it's just really good adventure design, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Note to self, keep this tactic in mind. That's really cool.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, because there are definitely times where I want an adventure, but I don't necessarily need somebody to have done like the encounter design for me because I personally find encounter design to generally be pretty easy. It's one of the parts of being a director in a game that I find the easiest. I'm not super familiar with Draw Steel. I'm just kind of starting running Draw Steel, as you know, Jacob. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's so
I
great.
find making encounters easy. I've already kind of started ignoring the encounter values for creatures and just kind of vaguely knowing, okay, well if I put, 8 to 12 minions in this and give that one squad of 8 a leader and, the, okay, I've got 3 people, yeah, that's probably works as a level appropriate encounter. That's going to be difficult but not, impossible to overcome, that sort of thing. So I like if you give me these broad stroke stories, it's super easy for me to then sit down and build the necessary connective tissue. And sometimes that's all I need when I want another adventure is I'm not particularly good at or interested in usually reading through a whole it's going to sound really funny doing a stream that is let's read through this thing and talk about it. But when I'm running games, I don't normally do that. I don't run out of books very often, which is why we did the very first level of the Delian Tomb, so I could get used to running, and you guys could get used to playing with me running the game, and then we immediately pivoted into my own stuff, because I'm like, I'm sure it is a wonderful adventure. I don't like or do well reading through adventures and running them that way. I can do it,
Yeah,
but so yeah, I really like that as a design choice.
yeah, no. I also really like we're gonna spend all our time on the first page. Will that's our fate. Um, I love
Yeah,
that you could
whenever the
like
way.
you could read this first page and yeah, you know the adventure. Like it's not just helps for if you want to just run it from like sort of just from this, but it helps that like hey, you can get the gist of the adventure after like a page of reading, which is great. That's just a great thing to have. So you can
It
know if
is.
you want to run it or not.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
we've got this nice section about what happens if the heroes fail, which I think is the next little section, which is nice. And the broad strokes is that he overruns the town, kills the demigod, and gains power of prophetic visions, and will start pursuing the path of lichdom, which I think that's a really cool and interesting fail state, because that could be the setup for another adventure, right? Is that they is the heroes you run a party through the cave of amber tears and they fail, and now there's this thing that's happening that you can run with either another party or maybe even the same party later who have to make up for their mistakes. And I like that in a fail state, that it sets up for more interesting story things to
Yeah,
come after.
agree. It's good design. Um, yep, and the fitting into a campaign in Greater Orden, pretty simple. Just any polar region. Give some recommendations for regions in the MCM setting. Right, that's really it
And
though.
suggest what Vanagar, right?
Yep. Hmm.
For Orden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a
Um,
couple adventure hooks. I think that's something so far from my reading. I'd love to see, I think, 2 or 3 more little adventure hooks, maybe.
I think I agree. Because I think one
Um,
is heroes that have been summoned by the strange dreams, which I think is just standard, right, for like something like this.
yeah, it's good.
Um,
Yeah, it's good. No problem with that. That's absolutely
yeah,
a great standard thing. Yeah, and the other is that you're like citizens. I'd love to see just and I mean it's easy to workshop them off the top of your head, so I guess maybe you don't absolutely need them, but like I'd love to see one that's like you're like part of a merchant caravan that came for
yeah.
this feast, right?
I love
Or
hooks that give you like different sort of perspectives on what's happening. Like, what if it's one of
yeah,
them is like, oh, you're the brother of this dead sort of like, oh, you're the person's son, and like, oh, you're the brother. I don't know. I like cool hooks. I like that, or sort of make it more unique experiences in itself.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, but yeah, cool. The dreams, which is I guess the first actually mechanic thing here.
Yeah, and you run this part, right? You were mentioning.
Yes, and it was not like this. It was not a roll.
Okay. Oh,
It was
okay,
just
cool.
here's a dream. So this is definitely an improvement. I think it's really cool. Oh, I will say though, I think one thing I think is weird is I don't think the fail state should be you don't remember anything.
Yeah, what would you make the fail state?
I think. Let me see here. Yeah, because you're supposed to guide them through the dream, so they're gonna see the dream, but then you're just gonna tell them to forget it if they fail the roll. I think either you could just not do that and have like some form of like I only remember stuff that they could actually roll for, or maybe have it so that they get like a bonus for the dream. Like you get a an edge on a roll pertaining to the dream or something. I don't know, but I feel like it may just be me.
No, I think that's fair. I think yeah, I do like that idea. And it does run into the yeah, I guess the no portion of the dream is remembered part runs into the I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what Angry GM calls it. He's got a whole word for it, a whole rant on it, which I actually strongly disagree with the crux of his argument. But yeah, I agree. I think maybe if there was some sort of mechanical,
Like don't have failing
yeah,
be not remembering, be failing be getting no mechanical bonus. I don't know, but no, but I do like though I do like it's a roll now. That's actually I think adds a bit more moldability to the situation as a whole.
that's fair. I almost feel like, and I don't know, I haven't read through all of this yet, but I can see. I think another solution to the like fail state of the dream is being that no portion of the dream is remembered. Honestly, maybe just don't make it a roll potentially. It's just like you see this dream, and then maybe they get a roll. They could like make rolls later to like remember useful things from the dream or something.
Yeah, well it does do that a bit. It has like the difficulties you can make afterwards, but
Yeah,
I do wonder why you made it a roll. Although I do think you could get away with it, and it'd be really cool. It's just I think it'd be focused on things you get rather than things you don't retain.
right.
That's just me. I do like this though. I like the dream. I love that sort of aspect. I like that you kind of like it kind of gives you a few sort of one thing I do also think is interesting is it doesn't just give you the dream. It gives you sort of specific elements of the dream that are important, right?
Yeah,
So I guess oh you remember these things. And since you remember them, you know they're important. So I guess actually thinking of it in that way, right? Like so the party will remember the dream, right? That's not gonna be something they're gonna work off. But I guess maybe the test is just to give you a hint to what's important in the dream. Because that's what it kind of is what it is doing,
that's
right?
fair. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it should maybe
So yeah,
framed in a different
maybe
way.
that's fair. Yeah, you run through the dream, and then afterwards, the result of the test, you say, okay, you remember more clearly
Hmm.
Um, this Vulcanet. Uh, yeah, Bean
So
Boy,
that's
to
it.
answer your question. I think the dream gets narrated either way, even if you
Yes.
don't remember it. Right?
Yep.
That's what it says, right? Well, it
Hmm.
says the director may guide the party through the dream as
Yeah.
part of the prelude to part one. So I guess if you decide to guide them through the dream, yes, but you don't have to as a prelude to part one.
We'll have to ask Paul this, but I'm reading this. I'm now sure what I think is he's doing here. Is he's making it so this isn't just like he's gonna assume the players will like sort of use information of the dream, or at least remember it, right? But he's using this as a way to clarify things that are important in the dream.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's trying to do here. I just think it could be framed a different way, but I do like that as an idea, and that's really cool. A way like to have the dream and specifically point out things that are important in the dream, like the Valknut and the cauldron.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Page 6. Okay. Od
Yeah, so go
Odreyer.
ahead. Yeah,
Odreyer.
Otrier.
Odreyer. You're gonna be better at this than me, I think.
Well, I'll be more confident than you. That doesn't mean I'm better. Just means I sound good when I'm wrong. Yeah. So we've got this. Yeah, just goes over the amber tears in question that there is a cave of. Yeah, it's a pool of Kvasir's tears and blood. That's interesting. Actually, there's times when I narrate dreams vision, so there's a structure for players to get out of it. Yeah, it is. Sorry, responding once again to Bean Boy here in the chat. It is interesting to have kind of a structure for what the players might get out of the dream. Because yeah, I've done the same. In fact, in my last Draw Steel session, Jacob's character had a fun dream sequence, and now I feel like it might have been cool to have a role so that I could highlight maybe things that were important. That might have been an interesting thing to do. Yeah. So yeah, we've got this Odfrir, um, that the Rossfelger's tampering has cursed it, and now
I
it
googled it.
does- it transmutes people into undead apparently.
Yeah, I googled
Well,
the
dead bodies.
term. I think it is actually culturally is actually is an actual thing. It refers to one of the three vessels that contain the mead of poetry. Okay. If it's the same thing,
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah, that's cool.
I think that's cool. I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah. And these next couple sections will probably go through kind of quickly, just because they're long sections introducing a lot of people and items.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't want to spend an hour getting through all of that.
Yeah, we've already
I'm
we've
still,
taken a lot of time with
yeah,
these first thing.
we have already waffled a lot on a few pages. So yeah, we've got just a description of locations. There's the burial mound, the longhouse, um, the fjord for the village. That's fun. That one I do know is pronounced fjord, so we got one.
Some cool again
Uh,
geographical information here. Maintains its temperate climate even during the frigid months. Cool.
yeah.
You totally did the research.
Apothecary. There's a tavern by the docks and also an inn. Temple of Silver. Yeah, there we go. Rune of the Wise is there. Worships uh, Korvath, which is a name I recognize vaguely.
Oh, these are draw steel gods. Okay.
Yes. Korvath I recognize from the Ratcatcher series.
Which I had Will
Heroine.
read.
Yes, I have read. Uh, I do not. Oh, and a little thing about the Yilgur River.
Cool. Yeah,
And
so
then
the
we've got
basically good sort of information about the town and then the people.
yeah, just, yeah, broad hero points of interest. here are some geographic features. It's really good. I'm a fan. It's nice to have just a quick list of, when somebody says, okay, well, there's this thing going on. Before we go and do stuff, I want to talk to people. You can say, okay, well, here are some places. Here's some places of note, in the town where people gather, where you might be able to talk to people. And here are some people you might talk to. We've got uh, Brimir Saxhunder, who's the chief.
Yeah.
Quick description of Harold Brimirson, who is the son that has unfortunately died in battle and is now uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Has now been reanimated.
Oh, and he was arcane faculty. He's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting that he's not because I kind of assumed I would have assumed because actually I had already read this, but before I read this, I kind of assumed that the son would be a kind of a more classical Viking warrior, but his spiritual and arcane faculties is fun. I'm curious, and once again, I've only read part of this. I'm curious if there is a stat block, or even if there isn't now, if there might later be a stat block to that reflects like that Harold Brimirson is not as martially focused, right? Maybe his undead has some cool arcane abilities or something.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to remember. I think when I first ran it, I think it was mainly just standard undead, but Paul could have changed it. So I guess we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a description for the Woad Elf who runs the apothecary,
Yeah. Awesome.
the Orc who is the captain of the village guard. And here we've got a description of Kvasir, the demigod of mead and poetry. So I do think
Mm.
that the Amber Pool is, I think that cinches it that the Odfrir here is definitely a reference to the mead of what the mead of poetry.
I
It
think
said
so.
right.
Yeah. Which must be some awesome mead.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Kvasir is he an invention of Paul's for this? Do you know?
Good. Good question. Let's see. Maybe not. Being
Or is
born of
he
saliva of Aesir and Vanir. Da-da-da. Oh yes, it is. No, this is honeycombs. Following his death, Kvasir's blood was drained and mixed with honey, which became the meat of poetry.
Oh, okay, okay, so cool. So he's taken an extant mythological creation and brought it into Drusteel. That's really fun. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
And very much within his wheelhouse, given that we had him do Arthurian legend
Yeah.
for the episode he's on for the podcast. So if you like what Paul has done in this by taking kind of these Norse inspired legends and ideas and brought them into Draw Steel, and you want to see him do that with um, the Matter of Britain, the Matter of England, check out episode 5, no 4, episode 4 of the Psychogenic Symposium with us, or just look if you don't want to listen to us talk, you could just go to our itch.io and find the stuff from it.
Dwarves
Also,
explained to the gods that Kvasir had suffocated in intelligence. That's great. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading the
that
meat of
is fun.
poetry.
Yeah. I think we've got a couple more people
Yep.
who have joined us based on the
Oh,
watcher count. So welcome
awesome.
anyone who's new. We are currently partway through, about 8 pages into looking over Cave of Amber Tears. This is a preview copy that Paul was nice enough to put together for us. So there's plenty that might change, and plenty that is going to need testing still. Lots of layout might be changed, lots of individual stat blocks, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we were just pausing a moment to ruminate on Kvasir, this demigod of mead and poetry that is based on an actual Norse mythological figure. So,
And he sounds rad, so this is really cool. The
yeah.
meat of poetry. Cool. And then it has the Sphere, the main bad guy. Um,
Yeah.
he was he was tall, hunched over, and bald. It's basically like a that sort of standard like sinister oracle
Yeah.
like sort of vibe.
Yeah, classic, yeah, sinister, arcane or magic user kind of thing.
Yeah, the sort of Jafar esque character.
Yes, yeah, very Jafarish. We've got Revna, who's the adopted daughter of the chief,
Love
an
that.
orcish shield maiden. Yeah. Rune of the Wise, high elf priestess. That's cool. And Yrsa, Aristoter, the lady. So yeah, nice. Lots of covers most of the NPCs. I think I would like to see um added to this list just a quick description of the one or two of the Polder who own Lundy's Saltstead,
Yeah.
which is the Dockside Tavern we saw earlier, and just a quick description of maybe Inara and Ava who run the Three Antlers, because I feel like those are places that heroes are likely to go either for rest or information, and
Yes.
I think it'd be good to have just a quick like, here are these people.
Even outside of this adventure, just having those people like if like they come back or like you want to use it as like a
Mhm.
adventure hub area, it'd be good to know like who these people are.
Yeah.
Also, I want to guess that Paul added this because of me.
Which
Want a
one's
hot
that?
start. Want a hot start.
Oh, yeah. Is that something you said? You're like,
Well, one of the things I
I'd like to
said.
get things right away.
So when I ran this, right, I was playing with brand new players,
Right.
and
As you do.
theoretically, you don't start combat until you get into, at least in the visual version, you don't start combat until you either fail the montage test, which is usually pretty hard, or you get into the mound. When you get to the mound, that encounter is pretty advanced, at least when I looked at it. So I was like, hey, maybe I had something smaller here, like a more sort of minor encounter, to like help like new players maybe get into the groove or something like that. I think this is what his response to that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is completely unrelated, but I'm glad he has this. This is really good.
That is good. Yeah. I agree.
Oh,
I like the idea of the false start, just
yeah,
being able, or the false start, hot start even.
yeah.
False start's the opposite of that.
Also, one more thing. This is a frost elf combat. This used to be a wood elf combat or a woad elf.
Yes. And this might be a good time. Do you have the Frost Elf preview thing open?
I can get it out. Give me one moment. Oh,
Because we do also have a preview copy of Frost Elves, which I think
wait, you mean
contains. Sorry, go ahead.
I think no, the frost elves are actually were first introduced in Blacksmith Guild.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Was the first thing a Blacksmith's Guild? I don't
The
remember.
second, I don't actually have it downloaded.
Second? Okay.
I could
Yeah.
um
I don't have any of them downloaded. I've never read
wait, I can
uh,
I can get it.
a dark secret for all the viewers. I've never read any of the Blacksmith's Guild, and the
Not even the one
only
I wrote for.
yeah, uh, and the only zine, Draw Steel zine I've read is the one we reviewed, which was the first Ratcatcher scene. So,
Which
oopsie.
I mean I do like the connected sort of tissue of his stuff that Paul's made. I think that's rad.
Oh yeah, I love Paul's stuff. It's great.
No, I think all his stuff's always really interesting. I actually believe. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't talk about that, but I'm excited to see what Paul does in Blacksmith Guild.
Me too. I am too.
Um,
Uh, yeah. So,
and
oh, do you
let's
have
see.
the? I think
I
I sent you. Did I not link you the thing?
the no actually maybe I found the elves. Sorry, I just wanted to find the frost elves in. Here we go. So yeah, just so people know, here's the frost elves that he's sort of using from his issue 1 of Blacksmith Guild. So it's issue 1, which is it's just cool that he's using them. I think. Um, did you link me something? What did you? Oh no,
The
I did not.
preview copy.
I did not see that. Okay, no, that's cool.
I don't. I wonder if they're any different. Frozen Court, Stone Cold Crazy, From the Cold Earth, Children of Winter. It doesn't, on a quick glance, it doesn't look like the preview copy we got was any different from the Blacksmith version.
I don't think so. It's yeah, again, it's still really cool. He's using these. Um,
Yeah.
no.
And I think
So
this just has basically everything you would need to run that encounter, I
yeah,
presume.
yeah, yeah.
Got their malice abilities. I think probably we won't spend too much time on the Frost Elves. Maybe at some point we should go through like that
Blacksmith Guild.
do a review of that issue of the Blacksmiths Guild
No, I want to do that too.
so
I
we
want to
can
go through that.
talk more about them.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But so
Yeah. So prelude. We're at the prelude, guys. Which feels weird because didn't we just?
I think this is the actual like the dream and stuff.
Oh, that wasn't. What was this then? I guess it's just part of the hooks.
Which one? What? What
Because
was
there was
what?
the dreams, the dream part after the adventure hooks. Then there's the prelude, which isn't. Is that just the vision again?
Well, I think the dream part after the adventure hooks doesn't actually go through the dream, right?
Oh, that I see.
It just gives you a mechanical thing. So that's probably something you want to uh so this is like the actual optional prelude, right?
Yeah. Scandalous. Cool. Yeah. No, I think this is the actual sort of dream. Yeah. So there's no failure or success. It shows different aspect. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
does
just does seem
this?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how it connects up.
Yeah, that isn't fully clear to me. Although that may just be. So is this part of that same dream? If so,
I think so. I assume so, right? Because that section specifically talked about, hey, if you want to run as a prelude to part one, run them through the stream.
yeah, like I said, so the interlocking triangles, which is the symbol. Which that's not a fail, isn't it? Yeah, that's not a fail. Which this is the group test. Was the first one a
Hmm.
group test?
Yeah, the first one was also a group test.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if we're looking at maybe two different ideas he had for the dreams.
Yeah, maybe he added one
Possibly.
of them for this version, or actually, I'll probably look in
You
the
know,
old version. Let me see.
once again, as I've already said numerous times, this is an incomplete version. The Cave of Amber Tears is not done yet, so it is entirely likely that one of these is not going to be in the final product, and that perhaps that could be where the confusion is coming from, because maybe one of these was an older idea that has been abandoned but forgot to be taken out of the dock, or just it isn't. Maybe there's some connective tissue there that might make it more
Okay,
clear how these are supposed to interact.
so in the
That
old
that
version
might get
on the
knocked out in
itch,
playtesting. Hmm.
sorry, on the old version on the itch does not have the roll. It does have the prelude dream of the jogger bit, but I definitely think it's just it
Okay.
wasn't consolidated, which is totally okay, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah, it
not
happens.
expecting a finished product here, so
No,
it's
absolutely
all
not.
really cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I do love this sort of descriptive such stuff. Works well.
Yeah. I love dream sequences. They're very fun to
I could
use for.
tell you had me go to dream sequence again in the last game we ran. You ran for me yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
So
Yeah, you got a fun dream sequence while you took a little well earned nap.
yeah, a post death nap.
I
You
don't
know,
think it
again,
counts. I don't think it counts as dying.
I think so.
Yours. Mm, mm,
Well, I think I'm technically, I think I'm internally, I'm just dead. I think it's just that I I become more dead for a little bit.
yeah, just a little nap. You're fine.
Emanating through the
Um,
dense curling mist, you begin to hear the sound of scraping. Many simultaneously rhythmic scrapes that sound ragged. I like that. Some good descriptive text here.
it is. It's really solid. Yeah, the dream's fun. I like. I think I'd like some. I guess you just read like whatever the result of the group test is. That's the one you read to them, right?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. Piercing through the haze, something begins to take shape, and you've got the 11 is this, 12 is this, and or 12 to 16 is that, 17 is this takes shape, and then you move on through the rest of the dream. Okay,
I feel bad
that's
for
cool.
parties that don't get the 17 plus because this description is rad. So yeah,
It is good.
Cool. Yeah. So that's the dream, which is cool. And then I guess just probably the bit where like you actually get into play, the Feast of Sun Return.
Yeah. So I am guessing, just based on the name of this feast, that given how far north it is, before I read anything, I'm guessing this is the return of the sun. I know, obvious. I'm guessing that this is the end of a long polar night, is when this feast happens, right?
Yeah. Ding ding ding. You're right.
Cool. Great. That's fun. I like that.
No, I think it's very very good. Very narrative. Let me. I like the grim hues of despair that threaten to overwhelm the people. The feast will go forward.
Yeah, I do like
Mugwort.
it.
Again, love these sort of little hyperlinks.
Yeah, the hyperlinks are really nice.
I
And
really
I
think
think
it'd be really cool to have some hyperlinks for, what'd be really cool is actually have like almost like sidebars for like, hey, this is where I got my inspiration. Like, oh, here's actual sort of god that I sort of inspired by. I think it'd be really cool, but that's just my
that is
history
cool.
nerd in me,
I feel like it's
or
probably,
mythology nerd rather.
especially with something like this where you've got so much inspired from like Norse mythology, it might be too much to have that,
Mm.
right? If like every page has, a little section, it might bog it down a little bit, run the
What
the page word count up.
what I'm saying, Paul, is I would buy a edition of this venture that has like a sidebars. A
Right.
what's the term for like a book that has like an annotated version of the adventure. Um, cool. Yeah. So three antlers. Yeah, this was a speech. It seems.
Yeah, I'm interested if I can see if I can find that speech,
Maybe.
because that's something I'd love to see. I love
I think there was.
I love reading speeches at my players. It's one of my favorite things to do as a DM. Is put my players in a situation where they have to listen to some NPC waffle on. Which part of halls, which part of the feast simply lit, color of flowers, cooked in the blossom.
I think there's not like an actual speech. But there's like sort of a basically. I think these are better bullet pointed. That'd be good. Like these are bullet pointed, but like have like it's the speech itself be like a subsection of that. Would be cool.
That would be nice, yeah.
I think it's what this is supposed to be.
Oh, okay. There's a thing here. Once all
Oh,
the
is there?
villagers have gathered, Lady Ursa will give a brief speech. It just goes over what is said in the speech, but it's not like a speech. She'll let the village know that while Chief Brimir wishes he could be present, he is unfortunately wounded while hunting for a polar bear, nearly lost his life. Has rested him, yada yada yada. So it goes through kind of her general what she goes through. Excellent spot for hero introductions. That's a good
Great.
director's note there at the end of this kind of first
Yeah.
scene in the Hall of Fire.
Yeah. This is good. Yeah, it gives a lot of information about the Hall of Fire. Right, gives good context. I think for the environment.
Oh, and it describes what the ritual is. Places a variety of offerings into. Oh, but yeah, puts offerings into the fire at the center of the Great Hall. Oh, that's cool.
Good way like sort of define the character. I remember I did this in the adventure. I was like, hey, what would your character bring up like to sort of to give to the fire? I think that's a good way to sort of like have character moments, good character
It
moment.
is. Yeah.
Something else is also new is the festival actually has details, which I when I ran it, it wasn't there. Those didn't exist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I love that these exist now. It gives a bit of sort of like things to do in the village during the festival.
Yeah. Yeah. Some fun stuff. Got the feats of strength. Um,
Also, was there? I remember seeing in the visual of like originally when I ran this, in this sort of hall of fire, there was a bit about like people putting rumors around the hall.
hmm.
You see, if is that still there? I think I did give some input. I was like, because I felt like one of the so it was like basically like, oh, some like very so obviously sort of like not rumors that didn't mean much. Then there's a rumor about like, oh, remember like it was like an old man telling a story about like that priest that disappeared 20 years ago.
Maybe it's somewhere in the festival stuff.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. Well, if they that's fine. I was just curious if that was still in here.
Oh, yep, it's here on page 14
Oh,
under
okay.
the Until Dawn section. There's a because this is like before the feast. This is all the ceremonial stuff, and then at the feast,
Yeah.
there's uh
Yeah, which I think is really good. I think that's good. So I want to look at these feats because I haven't looked at these yet. Um.
oh the what feats?
Oh, the festival stuff
Oh, okay, yeah,
contests because I haven't seen these yet.
yeah, they look fun. It looks like they're split into rounds with
Oh,
like easy, medium, opposed rolls, and doing well on the earlier rounds gives you an edge on the later rounds. It looks like.
it looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, and heroes who win the competition earn one victory. That's fun.
I like that. That's cool.
I can kind of imagine now, like, you do this, and one of the players is like, "Yeah, I want to do this thing," and maybe they win, and the other players see that they get a victory, and they're like, "Oh, I want to participate in these things."
It's a good way to give a bonus while you don't having like a outright sort of like, oh, you get money for winning this, right? That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's a contest where they oh, it's like a fermented fish eating contest, which is great. I love that.
that is really fun.
Who doesn't love that? Yeah, no, cool. Give some details on some of like the Polder family, which is cool. Um, I
And
think
we've
it
got
gives
a race
details
in
like
the. Go ahead.
gives details on like the competitors, which is always good.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
We've got a race on the river, which is fun. I also like that the villagers who are the contestants have a pretty good chance of doing well, right? They've got a +2 in the stat and a proficiency in skill, I think, for all of them. An irrelevant skill, yeah. So that's fun. I like that.
I
It's not
think
just like players are gonna win these. They might not.
I think my only note here.
Hmm.
I think it'd be really cool to have like a little thing of like, hey, because this isn't just a normal festival, right? There's been a sort of like a cloud of despair, like because of this vision. It'd be cool to have like some details of like, hey, sure, there's these sort of like fun activities going on, but it's something sort of like a darker sort of like almost like attitude going on. I don't like how you would do that, but because it does feel weird having like oh, there's like a cloud of despair with the whole village, and then you're like, oh, here's a fermented fish eating contest, right? Here's a canoeing thing, which is cool. I love these, but I think it'd be cool to have like some like yeah, how to have that.
Yeah, maybe having just like a little sidebar talking about
Yeah,
that maybe the villagers seem some of the villagers seem less into things or not as many are participating as you would expect, something like that.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and then we've got the last activity, which isn't a contest so much as ooh, ooh, sorry, excuse me, just a thing they do, which is like what is this? Sorry, I'm trying to read through this. Oh, writing messages on barks and throwing it in the fire. Oh, yeah, like a message to a deceased loved one, prayer, plea, treasured memory. That's
This is like
fun.
another opportunity to like sort of have know this like to have this stuff better sort of in your mind.
Yeah, yeah. Make a medium difficulty reason or intuition or presence test and get the dream
Okay, cool.
stuff.
Yeah,
Again,
that's right.
also I really funny thing. I don't. This is a really cool thing. I don't know how it would come up, but chalk contains arcanite, brimstone, and chronodite. It can be consumed, and
I
heroes
think
will be granted a modicum of control over the dream.
I think let me double check that because I think actually Paul talking a lot like he's like a number of like sort of like resources he has like that he's sort of like of gemstone stuff, which I think that may be what Arcanite is. So
Well,
like sort
no,
of
no, I know what these are. I'm
oh, is
saying
Arcanite
I
an actual
don't
thing?
know. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure the
oh,
the other two
I'm
are.
okay, cool. I thought it was a fantasy thing. No, it's a real world thing. Cool.
Yeah, no, those other two are definitely real things. So I
Yeah,
do
no,
know
I
Arcanite
love
one.
that. That's cool.
No, I just the it can be consumed, and heroes will be granted a modicum of control over the dream. Who who's eating the the chalk?
I found it coming up though. Is like characters like see himself as like having a low intelligence, right? Like being like, oh, I'm gonna eat the chalk.
I just want to
Okay then.
know. I want to know if somebody did this in playtesting.
That would be funny.
I want to know if someone's like, okay, I write it and then I eat I eat the chalk. Yeah, but that one's fun because you get hero tokens from participating instead of victories, so that's cool. It's a nice way to load them up with hero tokens before they go in to do dangerous stuff.
They return to
Uh,
the feast hall, and that's when you
yeah, the
have the
feast and hero,
rumors.
yeah,
Yeah, and then there's a secret council. I don't know why I like Revna as a character. I think the idea of like sort of this adopted is Revna the adopted one, right? Adopted orc.
yeah, yeah, I believe
The
so.
idea of this like adopted orc sort of child of the chief and stuff is that's really cool. I don't know why. Greeting
Yeah,
each
so you
heroes
got this like
individually.
this secret meeting that Revna sets up on behalf of uh Chief Brimir.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a brief description of what that scene is like. And this is the part of where they oh yeah, she reveals to them that the bear story's made up. And and tell them to go talk to the chief.
yeah. Basically, yeah, just a funnel to the like, oh, something's happening. Like I'm pretty sure from this point, players may already be like, oh, something's not right here, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
And you've
surprised they
got
try to do something before this happened, right?
that's
Like,
fair, yeah. We've got a montage test for getting to the lodge. So I guess the lodge is outside the village?
I I did
It is.
the montage test. Is this
Hmm.
yeah, this is to get out because it's being guarded, right? I'm gonna make
Yeah,
sure
right.
it's yeah. And so one of the players who is a Goliath or no, not Goliath, a Hakan was like, "Hey, can I just like run past them and just like basically cannonball through them?" I was like, "Sure." It was great.
I think that's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
What are they gonna do?
right. Like a giant sort of stone giant kind of comes through and just like barrels through you. Like you can't stop them, right? So it was cool.
It's got some suggested challenges for it too, which is good.
Yeah,
And characteristics and skills that might be used.
yeah, very useful. I'm glad these are here.
Yeah, because I think that is because I've run montage tests before, even before Draw Steel, when I called them skill challenges and lifted that from 4E essentially. But it's a similar system basically. Uh, and that was always I think the most difficult part. I think people found, especially when you kind of leave it to up to players, which I think is cool and fun. But there are definitely times when players where I'm like, yeah, whatever skill, you just tell me how you think it's used in this. And I've definitely had players who are just kind of like sitting there staring at me like I grew an extra head. So it
Yep.
is nice to have written out these things so you can be like, well, maybe you could like distract the guards somehow.
I think when I first
If
ran
people are having
this,
trouble.
I don't think there weren't any of these. I don't think he had examples,
Okay.
which is why
Well,
we had
yeah,
a
I just
Hakan
didn't add it.
run through guards. But so I'm glad these are here now, and I think yeah, I think they're good.
Yeah.
The healing lodge, simple healing lodge. Again, good description. Warding runic glyphs on the wall, painted in dark crimson. Sage, Uniform, Mugwort, great. Um,
Yeah, and you can get some. I think the cool thing about this, obviously, it's going to go through, what happened to him. Um, you can get +1 heavy weapon, 3 healing potions, a snapdragon, and a giant's blood flame.
oh,
If you
so
ask
that's interesting.
people, yeah,
I don't think a +1 heavy weapon is actually in Draw Steel. I think it's self-explanatory why, like what that does mechanically, right? But I think it's cool to see it in Draw Steel, right? Like I don't think the base duels have this. Just
do
simple
they
plus
not?
one weapons. No, I think it's just I think the closest thing you get is like the weapons with like that have like
'Cause there's a
the attributes. Maybe wrong. Like let me
what is there's the whole like downtime thing for
yeah,
like
but it's not
infusing your weapons and stuff. Is that not
mhm,
a
not +1. It's like there's different like sort of like names, sort of like thundering or honing or like these sort of like almost special abilities I get, which could include like +1 damage, but they aren't like there's no, like outright +1 weapons in Draw Steel. But I don't. I
no?
think they
Okay,
work,
I haven't run through
right?
this, so
I think they work though. So
it's fair. And is interested to see changes or if that's what it's meant to be or if it's going to change any. What do you think if you were giving it a first level enhancement, a first level weapon enhancement? What enhancement would you put there, you think?
I think thundering is always a good one. I think, but that's just my go-to for like if you just need anyone. But let me see here what there is. So you definitely do some good ones. I think that fit the Norse aesthetic. Crafting projects. That would be a weapon enhancement.
I think
I think
I
maybe
think
having one of the weapons from the game jam would be cool. But that's just
that would be cool.
uh
Disrupting one could be good if they're going to be fighting a lot of undead.
yeah, that would be cool. Disrupting. Let's see what's disrupting.
Lee, if you when you damage an undead using this weapon and leave that undead with 15 stamina or less, they drop to 0 stamina.
That'd be too good though. I think for an undead adventure, right?
I don't know. I guess I'd have to see what the undead look like, which we'll get to.
Yeah, no, I was thinking thundering because like again, he seems like the sort of like hunter, sort of like people didn't probably didn't bat an eye when he said I hunted a polar bear solo, right? Like I think that could probably fit.
Yeah, I could
Um,
also see like terrifying one could be
yeah,
cool.
totally. Hurling maybe would be cool. Well, I guess it's heavy, so how
Certainly would
probably
be
wouldn't
really
work.
cool.
Or what does hurling do?
Whenever you use a melee ability using this weapon, you can throw the weapon by treating the ability distance as range 3 instead.
That is cool.
And when the ability is resolved, the weapon returns to your hand. Any ability used when you throw this weapon can't impose the grabbed or restrained conditions. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think all I do love these enhancements. I think they're a good way to do minor weapon effects without giving a whole like level treasure. Nice.
Yeah, I just fought in Earth Dawn. We're running my DM is running for us. My Sunday group DM is running the infected module of Earth Dawn, and one of the people in that you kind of have to deal with is this high circle sword master who has one of his swords. He has like a string tied to it, and he throws it at you. And I remember being like, "Oh fuck this guy," because he threw his fucking sword at us, and I was like, "God damn it!"
That's funny. Um, no, but this is cool. I like this. Oh here's a bunch of stuff. Deal with this, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I assume Snapdragon and Giant's Blood Flame are potions of some sort, or consumables.
yeah, those are all consumables.
Okay, I assume because they were with the healing potions, and you get them from the herbalist.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the there's a let's do the draw steel overview right now. No, I think there's a lot. I like the amount of consumables in draw steel. Good amount.
Yeah, consumables
Um,
are fun. Um, I do. It is always consumables are difficult in games because it's hard to walk the line to make them useful enough that players use them and
mhm,
don't forget about them, but not so useful that players want to do the video game thing and hoard them
yeah,
for for a rainy day and then they never get used.
no, totally. It makes it hard. I think it helps that you can actually craft these things easily and draw steel has a system for it.
Right.
Um,
That does help a
but
lot.
it's still an issue, right? I agree. Like I didn't want to use a healing potion, but I had to, right? Because I in the session you ran, I had to use healing potion, but I didn't want to. But I guess that shows it was a good encounter, right? I had to use the three
You didn't
resources.
have to use a healing potion.
I didn't have to, but I didn't want to die, so it's either or, I guess. Um, yeah. So the honored dead.
Yeah, so this is part two. So yeah, I guess part one just is all village stuff and getting up to the village. How many parts are there actually? It's a
I
great
think it's
question.
three. Well, no, probably.
Three. One, two. Yep, three.
I think there's none. There's not anything under three, is there? I didn't think at least.
Cave of Amber Tears. Nope. Yeah, Cave of Amber Tears is currently blank. So part three is currently a work in progress. It appears.
Yeah. Although part two is has a lot of stuff in it, so.
Yeah, part two yeah has plenty of stuff. Let me get back to part two. There we go. So what do we've got here? We've got medium difficulty to tell if there are. Oh, there are runes in the trees.
I will say, I don't know. I'm sure this won't be an issue when it's all fully like sort of laid out. But I think as at the current like layout, it is kind of hard to parse some of this text.
Yeah.
But I think it's something
Yeah.
they'll be fixed in the final sort of like. Again, this is just work in progress. I'm sure layout is like sort of the most important thing.
Right. This is clearly like a working document,
Yeah.
not a.
I always love whenever there's skills are prerequisite for making the role. I think it's just a
Yeah,
good way
that is
to
fun.
do stuff. It makes people feel special of like having chosen these things.
Mhm. It's also I love to do like I'll just tell people like if they have certain skills, there's
Yeah,
sometimes I'll just tell them information. I'll
yeah.
just be like, oh,
I like that
you
too.
have the religion skill, yeah, you just know this because you're trained in religion, you know.
You've done that a few times in the game you ran, and I think it's just a good way to do it.
Yeah, and it's not for everything, but
Yeah. And you can
it gives
also
them a little bit of something,
languages give you an edge. Again, cool. Like it doesn't like
right?
mean you
Yeah,
can't
makes
understand
the
it.
language picks feel impactful. I have to say, one of the things that I find odd, and I think this is just because of how I play and how I pick languages, is I don't think any of you guys in my game have Anjali. Do you?
In
Or
no
wait, no,
Jolly, no,
Anjali.
we have
Wait,
two
is
people that have Jolly.
Anjali separate from the first? Not Anjali. Sorry, the first language.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got tripped up here because doesn't the first language have a one word name as well?
I don't know actually. I thought it was just the first language.
Huh, maybe it doesn't then. I don't know. Sorry, none of you have the first language, which is like something I would always give my Drostiel character.
Yeah,
Basically, I'd be like, no, he knows the first language.
yeah.
Anyone who uses magic, I would at least. I'd be like, oh no, it's the language of magic, so he knows it. Done.
Yeah, why the first language?
Done.
You learn three different types of human dialect, like human language, like I did.
Oh, three different humans. Forgot about that. That's right. You speak Anjali and then three human dialects.
Yeah.
You can talk to devils and any human you meet.
Yeah, no, but I like this. This is a good implementation.
Yeah, I like that the carvings are. I like that the main thing is the carvings, and then the noticing the frost elves is kind of almost incidental.
Yeah. Also, I like that it seems like I'm just getting like there's almost like a fourth thing that you get if you have this like if you have this specific sort of like oh you have this language or you get this like you get this fourth thing you just get for free, which I think is an interesting way to format it. I like that. That's cool.
Do you get it for free? I think you have to get a 12
Oh,
up still, right? Because you'd have to
I
notice the carvings.
I see. Well, maybe I'm misreading this. Those who understand the carvings, which you would need the language. Okay, no, I'm not. I got it. No, I still like that. That's good.
Yeah, no, I still like it. I'm just because like on 11 or lower, you just you don't notice the carvings, right?
Yeah.
So, and we've got I think this is our first combat, right?
Yeah.
Or our first set out combat. I guess you could probably maybe you could
Some,
get into a combat with the guards if you get a bad montage test or something if you wanted to. That's not what it says to happen, but it
yeah.
could happen.
Something else too is this originally wasn't a for sure. This was actually something that was a failure on the montage test. Now, and I think I said it was like, oh, that's probably like it'd be nice to have something like another encounter here. Which I think is why he did this. He made it like
Yeah,
so
I
that it
do like
happens.
having this encounter. Oh, and he's got the encounter adjustments in here, which is nice,
Again, great.
and the assumptions. And once again, we do have a preview copy of these elves, but we don't want to spend too much time on it. I mean, we could. Well, we're at the encounter, so maybe give
Yeah.
a quick look over.
Well, folks who
Um,
have the folks who have issue 2 of Blacksmith Guild can also, or issue 1 rather, can see these too. Go see the
yes, yeah,
specific Frost Elves.
yeah. I presume that the finished version of this will have the stat blocks you need.
Yeah, again, I love the overlap. I love when there's some design overlap between two products, even if it's like not sort of like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, as you might expect, the frost elves do a lot of cold damage.
Yep, good tactics. Love tactics. All this jazz until you get to the burial amount.
I might.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of, and maybe I'm wrong about this because there aren't that many of them, so maybe this is fine. I probably wouldn't go for have to defeat all the frost elves to end the encounter. For ending the encounter,
Are there any minions? There's no minions, so I think that's also probably why.
there
Oh,
are
there's
there are
minions.
4 minions.
So you'd have to beat the minions. Yeah, I can see why you think that, or why that. I don't totally disagree with you. I don't think.
2, 4, 7. It's just I would usually, even if it's an encounter where like it let I guess my question is, why are these frost elves fighting to the last man? Like when I see that ending the encounter, that's my immediate question: is why are these frost elves fighting to the last man? And as far as I know, they don't come back up, right?
I don't think so. Although that could change with the they sort of finish right in the end of it. But yeah, I don't see
That's
anything
fair.
else here.
Yeah, and maybe if they are supposed to come back up, maybe it
Well,
ties
it
into
says here
that, and that
actually,
would make sense.
driven insane by the nightmares. They're driven insane by the nightmares. Maybe that's the reason why.
Want to see the blood there? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, never mind then. That makes sense.
Paul beat you to it.
He did. I think I'd like to see that. I I guess for me, I'm a very like mechanics focused guy. So reading through this, I think I'd like to see that in the ending the encounter section maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's fine where it is. I'm just a very mechanically focused guy, so I'm like reading this ending the encounter, and now I'm like, okay, that seems weird to me, and I have to go back through and find out why. But I think that's a me problem, not a, a product problem.
The Bearman is a large grassy tumulus ringed by a dense swath of snow-capped spruce and bare white aspen.
Oh, that's fun.
I
I
like
do
those
love.
2 entry points. That's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ooh, a massive oak tree with golden leaves goes next to the blocked stone entrance.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's orc guards, which I love. I love all the orcs. They're pretty cool.
And a couple of high elf orb weavers.
Yep.
Oh, so do you have to fight the guards?
No, I think there is a negotiation here.
Oh, okay, there is a negotiation. Cool. That's fun. That's good because I was a little bit sad. I was like, oh, do I have to fight them? That kind of sucks. I don't
Well,
want
so
to
this
have to
fight
fight them.
is a third level. What are the orb weavers like? Actually, that's their third level.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think you're not supposed to fight them then. Right? You've got 2 level 3
Well,
hexers, a level
you
2
could.
defender.
It depends. I think if it's let's see, the 40 stamina, you could fight them. They just do a lot of damage. Yeah, you can fight them. It's
I,
just that
I feel like you're
what?
not supposed to though, right? Like
Probably not.
we've got.
Like I think killing them would be bad, but I think you could easily fight them, right? Like they're not like sort of too powerful. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think you could easily fight them.
No, but like you
Right?
could.
That's the equivalent of a level 3 hero. Um, 1, 2, 2.5 level 1 hero, or 1.5 level 1 heroes and half a level 2 hero. That's a pretty steep fight, I think.
Yeah, I think because they could like restrain you and push you, and like their damage isn't too wild. I don't think, but they're
Yeah,
Other
I don't
stuff's
know.
pretty.
I'd love to run this combat to see what it's
No,
like.
that'd be fun. It,
What is it? 5 heroes, standard average of 5 victories, level
if you
1.
want to force Will to run this
See how it
adventure, let
goes.
us know.
Oh God. Okay, well, yeah, that's something that could happen. uh, yeah. So what do we got for this negotiation? We've got Ivar, Captain of the Guard.
Good layout here, even though it's I'm sure work in progress, but I like that separate.
Stream-wise, I think you're
Oh,
stuck on Prelude, by the way.
am I? Are you sure?
That's what the screen shows. Oh, now it's changed. I don't know what
Okay.
was going on there.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, but again, like protection gives them input why these things are the way they are. Um, eschews wealth for wealth's sake. Awesome. Yeah, this is good work stuff.
Yeah, I like the outcomes. I like that the it kind of runs the gambit all the way from like, okay, yeah, you can go in and we'll actually send someone to help you to like, we're not going to stop you from going in
Ooh, retainers.
to you can go in, but we're going to need to see in writing that you're supposed to be here, all the way down to these guys are fishy trying to get into the weird undead place. No, we're taking them down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oop, and here's a thing about the this feels like
Hmm? What is it?
this feels like it should be up in the combat section, maybe. Maybe not in the negotiation. Is the acolytes flee after 2 guards are slain, going directly to warn Runa of the conflict.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like that. That's
I
good.
feel I, it's cool, but I think it should be in the like the tactics or oh no, it is in under ending the encounter. The acolytes will flee after 2 guards are slain.
Yeah, this
I
doesn't
also think
doesn't
that
need.
makes this a much more reasonable encounter because I was like, really, 2 platoon level 3 platoon hexers seems like it's gonna be rough for a first level party. Even just with the crowd control they do, it's probably gonna hurt. But if they run after you kill 2 guards, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, cool. Entrance tunnel. Yeah, again, there's a map key. Is there a map in this version? I remember seeing a map somewhere.
Uh,
I don't know where. No, I've seen
I
a
don't
map
see a
somewhere.
map.
It'll be in this version. But yeah, no. So yeah,
And
basically entrance tunnel.
is it
Cool.
trapped?
I'm always curious if people do dungeon crawls or dungeon stuff in Drawsteel. I think because it's not really
Yeah,
system
it is
made
cool.
for. Yeah, designed around that.
Oh, yeah, there's a trap at the beginning. That's fun. Blocks direct path into the burial mound.
Yeah, so basically a trap. Simple. Dynamic terrain object of hidden portcullis. I like that. That's cool. Blocked sun return tunnel.
Okay, so this blocks into the burial chamber.
Hmm.
Blocks a direct path. Okay.
Yeah, works well. I like the ultimate method in. Could you go? Is there something bad that happens if you go through this route, or no? Is it just a better way? It just requires a check.
Yeah, I'm guessing, is there a... It's not listed what the other way through is.
At least the blocked tunnel, and then there's the entrance tunnel here.
Oh, is that the actual,
I
the...
think. I think that's what this difference is.
Is, i-
Gonna
is the entrance tunnel just not coming into the mound, though?
um. Let me see something. Cave up, and maybe the map. Amber. The map may be on the itch.io page.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got the itch.io. Let's see.
Maps and content update. Yeah, here it is. Um. Yeah, here. I have the maps here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's look at that map because I think
Oh, there's
that's
a
a
lot of
pretty
maps.
big.
Open. I need a. extract these. I like those maps. Um, I'm sure they'll be in a better or easier to access when it comes out. Photos. Oh no, not photos. Yep, there's the thing. Cutaway. Let me find the GM one. Burial mounds. Director cutaway. Open with. Can I open it in Brave? Hmm. There's a map here.
Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah,
There
1
it
and
is.
2 are
Yeah,
the different
there it
entrances.
is.
Yeah, I see it.
So yep, here's the map. Um, there out here is where the orcs would be waiting. Yeah, and here's the because there's two ways. There's the first with the portcullis, and there's the just the rock. I would like there to be some risk for going the rock direction. I think it'd be cool because as this is here, it's just a better way to go, but it just requires a check.
Why? I guess why have a risk going that direction?
I don't. Maybe a risk, maybe something. If you fail the check, maybe have a negative outcome, right?
Well, I think the
Like
negative outcome is that you have to go through the trapped passage, right?
I guess so, yeah. Although I don't think that is very obvious to players. Like they won't know like, hey, this is the obviously the better way. It's just it's more
That's
difficult
fair.
to access. I don't know.
So if they go into the entrance tunnel, they hit this trap, and they're like, okay, well maybe we try the other way.
That's fair.
I don't.
And like they'll be trapped. They'll find a good way to get out. Which, fair enough. That's a good way to. Bubbling cauldron as they enter. Yeah, burial chamber. It's a pretty short dungeon. Like a pretty well, not. It's not really a dungeon. It's a short little sort of
Yeah, just a little.
entryway. And yeah, and then we get into the main area with all the sarcophagi. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like you can realign the symbol to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice, that's cool.
To give
Harold
some.
Brunson's humanoid keywords first. Ba-da-ba-da. Oh, was he? I guess the human bandit chief is Harold Bremerson.
Is it?
I'm getting.
Um.
I think so. Because it says Harold Statblock has the undead keywords instead of humanoid keywords, and can only use undead first echelon malice.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Bandit
Yeah,
chief. Let me look at that one.
it is a. May have used it.
Level
Um.
3 leader. No, I've not used the bandit chief.
Okay. Oh, it's at least the leader. Oh, so that's a strong. Yeah.
Mm. I
Cool.
do feel like I get using the leader. I feel like I would have gone just based on the description of him. I think it would have been cool to go for one of the for like a magic based human instead.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like even if you do like maybe a slightly customized stat block, if you like maybe took the human storm mage level 3 platoon controller and changed it like up added some stuff to make it like a leader, I think would be cool instead of using the bandit chief. Or I don't know, just swap some of the bandit chief's abilities out to make them more of a magic themed.
Some keywords. Yeah, I know. I think I agree with you. I always love whenever there's like sort of a passive amount of minions coming out of the cauldron. 2d3 is interesting. Riding zombies.
This fun.
There's 4 decrepit skeletons. Yeah, there's definitely I think less here than there was before. I think.
Sure.
So I think is a mummy lord. I think is red mean to be determined. I guess. Yeah.
What's that?
There's a mummy lord. It
What's
says here, and it's in red.
Oh, that's not on the version I have. Are you on the right
Oh,
version?
is this the right version? Thought so.
Preview copy of. Am I on the right version?
Maybe I'm
No,
not.
I'm on the
Oh,
wrong version.
oh, you're the
Nope,
wrong
that's
version.
me, not you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the red is stuff that is to be determined.
What's the Mummy Lord? I think
Okay,
is that
so
that's
it looks like they
strong.
changed it. Sorry, I was looking at the old version. My bad. So it looks like he's looking at changing him to a mummy lord. Which let me look at the mummy lord.
I thought I saw
That sounds cooler.
they listen. They patched your criticism midstream. Will without you
Yeah,
noticing.
obviously. Mummy lord's a level 4 leader.
Ooh, yikes!
It's got like okay, binding curse and stuff. Yeah, this is more what I was imagining.
I haven't seen this zombie art. That's rad. I haven't seen that yet.
Which zombie art?
Ah, that's like a Frankenstein's monster zombie on page like 273. But that's cool. What's the Mummy? Oh,
273.
I've never seen that art before. Mummy Lord. That is. Oh, is that? This is very strong. Uh
I'm not seeing any art on 273.
oh no, this is on the monster book.
Yep.
Oh no, 273 PDF number. Actual number 266. Sorry.
Ah, see, I have a good PDF reader, so 273 is 273.
Well, mine sucks. So
266, you said?
yeah,
Something like that? 266.
a little tangent there. Um,
Giant zombie. That's fun. Or
uh,
is that the Flesh Morning, maybe?
but I
So, I
think the
don't.
Mummy Lord is a good direction to go. But I definitely think it needs to be like sort of changed mechanically, which I probably knows. But it's I like it as a sort of a vague sort of outline for what the person could do.
That's fair. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there are vampires. I wasn't sure
yeah,
if there were stats for vampires in Draw Steel. That's really good. All right. Anyway,
if we little tangent there.
yeah, a
Um,
little undead tangent. It's fine. It's normal.
yeah, again, good encounter with the thing. Like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Then it goes into combat, counter details, which this has changed, I think. The Harold Grimerson stuff. Ending the encounter. I like that there's alternate ways to end the encounter. I'm always a fan of that.
What are the alternate ways?
Oh, the ending of the encounter is if you reline the Vulcanut symbol.
No, am I on the wrong one again? No, I'm on the preview copy. Complete the following
Page
tasks in any
22, right?
order. Yeah, you have to do all three.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean.
So that's not alternate. That's not like it's not three ways to end it. You have to do all three to finish it,
Oh
right?
no, I mean like either kill them or this. This is the alternate way from killing them. Is what I mean. Right?
What?
Because if you just
No,
kill the Mummy Lord, doesn't that end the encounter? Or like
no.
and stop the minions?
To end the encounter, the heroes must complete the following tasks in any order: destroy the cauldron, defeat Harold, and
Oh,
realign the Vulcanite symbol.
yeah, I'm not reading. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
that's what I
sense.
said. It's not a either or. You have to do all three of these. It's just it doesn't have to be in that order.
I
Destroying
see.
the cauldron does stop the minions. Doing the defeating the Mummy Lord gets rid of the Mummy Lord, and realigning the Vulcanite symbol stops just the whole weird magic stuff in general.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, destroying the Vulcanite means that the undead lose their arise and or endless night feature.
That's cool. I like whenever stuff like gets rid of like specific abilities. That's a good design.
It is
Awesome.
good. And then also when you realign the Vulcanite symbol, um, uh, oh, on a tier 3 result, the false wall to the treasure hoard will fall away. Is there another way to find this treasure hoard? I wonder.
I think Trezor leads to the Pool
Yeah,
of
they're
Ember
like drag
Tears,
marks and stuff.
so you have to, it's pretty vital.
+1 light weapon deals an extra 1d6 rolled poison damage. That's fun.
Yeah.
Bronze torque featuring ravens with red rubies, sea treasures, and a purple chest. Golden
Oh,
boar
I like
bristles.
that. The
Oh,
boar of golden bristles is cool.
that is. Oh, and we've got a stat block for him. He's a level 2 troop mount. Looks cool, looks cool.
Yeah, and then there's the frost elves, and then there's the treasures here. Torque of the fire raven.
Yeah, what's that do? I really want to know. Magic bracelet. While you wield this bracelet, your damage dealing supernatural abilities deal an extra 2 rolled fire damage. Additionally, you have damage weakness 3, but you gain on edge on supernatural power rolls if you aren't at full stamina. Okay, that's cool.
No, it's pretty cool. Affects fire damage increases. Oh, if you take more damage, I think this is kind of designed off something a magic item in the actual draw steel rules. I think. No, I like this. This is
That is,
all really cool.
that's fair. That is really cool.
Then at the end, there's a longer timeline, which is I love that it's here. Oh, there's a pronunciation guide at the very end. Awesome.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Ah,
Again, he patched the venture while we weren't looking.
Arkavikar.
Like car, like bee, like her, like a car be her, or
Brimir
our
Saxonder. I had that right. Heryon. Oh, no, I'm not. Nope. I'm not even going to try that. Kvasir. That makes sense. Kvasir.
this is good.
Utharayir. Utharayir. Oh, is that DH? Oh, I know what that D. Okay, cool. I see. I see why that's pronounced like that.
What's this? The Lord of the Sleeping Lands imprisoned Kavasir, a demigod of poetry, for daring to compose verses about their secret manifold. They sever his right hand and leave him to bleed and grieve for the rest of his days. I can't wait. I'm excited. I think this is really cool. I can't wait to see the bit where you go into the actual sort of like pool of Amber Tears.
Yeah, the cave. That's gonna be really fun. Yeah, so I guess well, we this didn't take quite as long as I thought it would, honestly.
Yeah, not that bad. The link is in the chat. Please follow him on follow Paul's thing on BackerKit. And again, I think it was the first one to back the thing, so make sure to back it. It's cool.
Yeah, do we have any final thoughts about it in the uh in its current form?
Not really. I think what we have see here is really good, right? Like there's still a lot of like sort of work in progress stuff, but what's here is rad. He's definitely
Yeah,
improved this
it's
since
really
last time I
solid.
looked at it.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. That's
Um,
glad to hear.
Also, for those who maybe aren't into the whole biking thing, I also really recommend Paul. Paul also recently has done a more sci-fi encounter adventure he's working on.
Which one's that?
It
Oh,
is
Defy the Stars. Is that the one?
Defy the Stars, yes, and it looks really good.
Yeah,
Let me
to
find
Defy
it.
the Stars. Yeah.
I know because I
Can
know
we
some people
drop
are
here?
in draw steel for the cool sci-fi flavoring stuff. So
Uh,
definitely recommend that.
not me,
If
but yes, some people. And there, I just dropped in the chat a link to Paul's itch.io. He's Heart of Arcana. Most places you can find him.
yeah, if anyone has anything to want us to look at or like review, like we have done this and as well with rat catchers, let us know. We'd love to.
Yeah.
We're always up for recommendations. We have our we have our Blue Sky as well as our of course our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, right? If you want to see more stuff like
Yeah.
this.
Subscribe,
We have
like, whatever.
stuff in the make works. We're gonna probably actually live stream tomorrow. I think, right? We talked about.
Yeah, we're looking at live streaming. Jacob is going to run for me Metamorphosis Alpha, which is the second tabletop RPG put out by TSR.
Yes. I'll make sure to catch it though, because if you can't catch it on the first bit, then I'll probably be Patreon only. I think that's what our
Yes, yeah.
plan is.
Because we're running me through it in preparation to record an episode of the Psychogenic Symposium for
Yes.
Metamorphosis Alpha.
Just so people know, do you know what time we had that set for? What on our calendar? So people aren't like.
Yeah, let me open our calendar real quick.
I don't know if anyone should watch that, but I'm excited. I love Metamorphosis Alpha. It's a RPG where you are basically it's a ship, you're like a generation ship, and it's sort of like millennia after it's been basically destroyed. Or not millennia, probably like a few a century or so. And so you're kind of living like in the starship, not aware that you're actually like on this like sort of ship. It's cool.
Yeah, 4 p.m. tomorrow. 4
Yeah, cool.
p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Yeah. So 4 p.m. Probably not 4 p.m. Probably like 4:30,
Or is
4.
that Eastern Standard Time? Which one are we going
Um.
to? We're going back to Standard Time. We were just on Daylight Time. Sorry,
Yeah.
4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So check it out. This we have a Patreon, but we're still filling it up. I think we have a playtest we did on there, but that's not. It's cool. So if you want to check that out, it's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Will?
Uh, I don't think so. I think that's everything.
Thanks for those who watched live. But this will be also available as a VOD. So for any VOD listeners out there, thank you for listening. We
Yep.
couldn't really do what we do without people listening and such. So it's good to see people enjoying it. Yeah.
All right.